Hello and welcome to the One About Podcast show where we discuss unnecessary prequels each week. This week we're looking at the second and currently final Star Wars side story. This is the One About Solo, a Star Wars story. I am your host, Dean. I also go by EndlessCola in places around the internet, and I am joined this week, as always, by the elite robot herself, Jordan, and the Zabrak Sith Lord, John. What's going on, guys?
So,
John got a dope-ass name. What the hell? Zabrak Sith Lord? Damn it.
Well,
Frickin-
I mean, John always gets a little pissy when I give him awful nicknames, and you just kind of take it on the chin.
I think I take everything on the chin, first of all. Secondly,
well, he
L3
just
was actually a cool
straight up
character.
called me a bitch, so I don't know how I feel about that.
Wait, what?
He's talking about you.
Just straight up called me a bitch, like low key.
I mean,
It's fine.
were you or were you not the one complaining?
You are correct, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just calling
okay.
it like I see it. You know,
Like, I'm not calling you anything. I'm just stating facts. If that's how you want to interpret those facts that you caused, that's on you, bro.
are you saying I have bitch-like tendencies? That's what I'm hearing.
What I'm saying is, I decided to start drinking Coke Zero again because, like, speaking of things that, like, I wish to ingest. Do you hear this? You know what this is, John?
No, what is that?
Popcorn.
That is a fucking empty package of Chips Ahoy that I found in my office. I got real goddamn excited for like 1 second until I realized the package was completely empty.
Why the fuck is there an empty package of anything in your office? Like,
Because my life is pain.
Oh, okay, yeah. It would suck, like, if you saw the package, didn't check it, went downstairs, got a big glass of milk, cold and ready for it, and then you found out that it was straight up empty.
Nestle in.
I probably would
That's
have,
that's some shit you would do, bro. Like, I
Probably.
would always check that package first.
like, straight up, I would probably pour the milk out directly on the floor at that point and just sit there and cry.
Honestly, like, if I had done that, I would have been real mad for a second, and then I would have stormed my ass back downstairs, stole my wife's Oreos, and ate those instead.
Jesus.
Or pour the milk out onto the floor, whatever.
Yeah,
Same
I mean,
difference.
no, but I'm saying, like, Oreos are vastly superior to Chips Ahoy, in my opinion, so.
Whoa! I don't have time to get into how wrong you are about that, but I will say...
No, for the chocolate chip, it's always Albertsons cookies over everything else.
Yeah, but we don't have Albertsons here, man. Like, it's not even an option.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
Publix
Looks like
cookies.
you just look out. Just
Which are
lost.
Publix cookies are
Passable.
vastly inferior to Albertsons chocolate chip cookies.
I mean, I haven't
Thank
tried the
God
Albertsons.
we agree on something. I'll
The
send
Publix
some
cookies
to
are
you
passable.
guys.
They're passable for me. Like, that's what I grew up on. They're just
No,
whatever.
I
Bro,
will
this
cheap
is
cookies.
This is 2020. Passable is not good enough anymore.
Exactly.
Dude, I'll take. Are you kidding me? This year, I'll take passable, bro. This is a struggle year. I'll take some Publix. If I have to struggle to get cookies, Publix it is, bro. I had Aldi cookies like a week or two ago.
I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you for a second. Like, there are very few cookies on planet Earth that I like more than Chips Ahoy. I don't know why I love them as much as I do.
They're ooey gooey.
But I have a deep-seated love for Chips Ahoy cookies.
They're like the softest, most malleable cookie too.
No.
But I don't think. Wait, never mind. Am I thinking of Chips Ahoy?
No,
No,
I don't
Chips
know
Ahoy
what
has.
you're
Yeah,
describing.
I'm thinking of another sleeve type cookie that it's not coming to mind. But no,
Famous Amos.
no, cringe.
Bastard.
No, actually, Chips Ahoy is clutch because I think they actually soak up and retain milk the best out of all like the big box cookies that you could buy.
Oh
agree.
shit!
Yeah.
You're the people that dip your cookies in milk.
You're the
Yes, sir.
You're the people that doesn't do
Fuck.
that.
I'm the person that actually eats dry cereal and drinks a glass of milk with it.
God damn it, you and my
What?
wife are the same way. I don't know why. There are people out there, I call them serial killers, that do this kind of shit.
Mm-hmm. It's
Do you
fucking great.
do you like when you make a sandwich? Do you just have all the parts just on a plate and you eat them individually,
No,
So, like, a
no.
bite of
So-
He's the kind of
cheese.
guy who invented
No,
deconstructed
I can
sandwiches.
straight up talk about this shit like real quick and just like lay it out. It's a texture thing. I don't like soggy cereal. It's been ingrained in me since childhood. I just don't like it. So I eat dry cereal and drink milk with it, and it's delicious.
Okay. I gotta ask, dude, because like this is the shit that annoys me more than anything when it comes to cereal. I get fucking heated about this. Who the fuck takes a half an hour to eat their cereal that it becomes soggy? Just sit your ass down with your bowl of cereal, pour in your milk, and eat the cereal. It won't get soggy. Like, who's taking their time, like, reading the newspaper and shit and watching TV? Oh, shit, I forgot I have some Captain Crunch here that I need to keep. Like, it doesn't happen that fast.
It's not like cereal is not a food that warrants interruption. Like, you have to, when you make a bowl of cereal, that is what you're doing for the next 10 minutes, is eating the cereal. Like, if something happens and you have to step away, the moment it leaves your eyesight, it just immediately becomes soggy. So you have to commit those 10 minutes. And sometimes it's difficult to find that time.
Yeah, for me, it's just always been a texture thing. Like, even like, first of all, Dean, like you've seen me eat. I don't eat slow by anybody's standard or like regard. Like straight up, I fuck
Then
food
what's
up
happening?
quickly. I
feel like what probably happened is you fucked up at some point in your childhood or somebody lied to you. And you've just been doing it this way for so long that you don't even know what you're talking about anymore.
No, I would agree with you if I didn't eat cereal in milk before. Like, yes, in childhood I ate cereal. It was soggy. It was Honey Nut Cheerios. I didn't like it.
Well, that's where you went wrong.
Whatever.
Honey Nut Cheerio.
But
it's a good choice.
Later on in life, I did do it again, and like at this point, I just prefer to have the big, tall glass of milk with dry ass cereal. That's just how it is.
I mean, some cereal I can definitely enjoy dry. I think we've talked about this too, but like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I could destroy dry, no problem at all. Oops, All Berries, got 'em. Lucky Charms, I think I could eat that dry. Like certain cereals, I could definitely eat dry.
I think I could probably eat any cereal that way, but like, why would I intentionally eat cereal in an inferior fashion? That's my question.
If you're out of milk.
That's like, well, if I'm putting water on that bitch, that's a totally different discussion. But this is like, why would I order pizza with no pineapple on it? Like, there's just no reason to eat pizza in inferior fashion. Like,
please tell me you're saying that as a joke.
Hell no, dude.
Pineapple
Pizza with
pizza
pineapple
is,
and
no,
ham on it is the
no.
superior pizza
Oh,
configuration.
fuck. Can we talk about Star Wars? Like, I feel it will be an all night thing. Holy shit. No.
What are you talking about, man? Like, are you seriously going to sit there and tell me that sweet, salty combination isn't perfect?
Oh my god, it's so not perfect. Fuck. It's not. It's really not. Fucking shit.
Go on.
No. I'm
I don't think
gonna
it's-
hold myself back.
I don't think it's
What are you talking about?
perfect.
It's its ultimate form. It's like Ultra Instinct pizza.
Fuck you.
No, that's more like Ascended Saiyan pizza. It's not Ultra Instinct
Ooh.
pizza.
Fuck you.
Ooh, what's your Ultra Instinct pizza, Jordan?
You're gonna hate me. You're gonna immediately shit on me because
I hate on you anyway. So what's the difference?
I know being your friend is the most stressful thing in the world, but my favorite pizza. This is my Ultra Instinct. This is my Goku in the 0 hour absorbing the Spirit Bomb and then taking on freaking Jiren. My ultimate pizza for me is a white pizza with chicken, broccoli, and garlic. And then if you really want to go balls to the wall, ricotta cheese.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
There's so many things I hate about that.
I like tomato based pizza. Of course I like it. Of course I love it. I like pineapple pizza. I don't go out of my way to get pineapple pizza. My wife does, but like I prefer white pizzas. And throw some broccoli on that. Broccoli's my favorite topping on pizza.
Why?
Dude, I can't even, like, you've
told
subjected me
you.
to the broccoli pizza thing, and like, broccoli on pizza is not as bad as it initially seems, but it's certainly not top tier top.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's like pizza's so beautifully subjective. You know, it's so beautifully personal.
You know what is a top tier topping on pizza? Pepperoni and mushroom.
You can get that
mean,
mushroom shit out of here.
That's all right. I can be okay with mushrooms
I
on
like
shit.
I like mushrooms, I do, but for some reason on pizzas, they never contain enough of the pizza flavor. They stand out for me. They just stand out too much. Like
I love mushrooms, so I'm good with that.
I don't know.
Oh, god tier pizza. Chicken, preferably like grilled chicken if it's not like a shit tier pizza joint. Grilled chicken, mushrooms, and black olives.
Oh God.
You lost me with the olives, man.
Yeah, I don't like olives at all.
You lost me.
I'll eat olives if
Bro.
I'm drunk, but I won't eat them like electively.
You know what it is? Like when I was a kid and we had like family Thanksgiving, my family used to put out a bowl of black olives, and I didn't know why, but my brother would just like fucking hammer them out of the bowl. So I just started doing it because he was doing it, and I've loved black olives ever since. Like I can't get enough of that shit. I would do that like to this day if my wife didn't hate black olives, so I can't have them in the house.
I'm so sorry.
But like black olives are super good for you, so you guys need to get on that healthy train.
I mean, Kim
No,
loves them.
thanks.
She can eat a jar of olives bare by herself. That's fine. Like I just don't prefer them. Like I wouldn't say I don't take them. I just don't prefer them. That's all it is.
But Spanish olives are disgusting. Fuck that shit.
Spanish olives?
Like the green with the pimento in the middle and shit. Like, nah, dude.
Like the
that shit's gross.
like the olives you see in martinis and stuff? Those things?
No, like those are green olives, but like what I'm talking about, they're like super salty. They have pimento in the middle of them for some ungodly reason. Like, I don't know. You would know it if you saw it.
yeah,
But, like,
yeah.
they're just super gross.
Manzanilla? Is that
Maybe.
yeah, it's like what you see. It's like what's left after a veggie platter that no one eats,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
They just
100% of the time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they just sit there. That and
'Cause
the
nobody likes that shit.
yeah, definitely.
That's the one thing where, like, if somebody came up to me and was like, you know what I really love? Spanish olives. I'm like, get the fuck out of my house. I don't want to associate with you for another 5 minutes.
I mean,
Get out.
I've eaten them and
Super
they're okay.
colossal queen olives.
Spanish queen olives.
Fuck.
They're so gross. Ugh.
In the Napa
It's
Valley,
so gross.
super colossal Spanish queen olives, pimento stuffed, family owned since 1930.
Yes.
I'm not even sure what pimento is, to be honest with you guys, but
thought it
like
was-
I know that shit is gross. It is super gross. Is super salty.
Pimiento. I think it's a pepper. Pimiento.
Would you stop?
Let's find out.
God damn it.
Pimiento is a red sweet pepper.
You were saying pimento, which is a cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's
Well,
pimiento.
You
But
guys can
luckily
go
for me, I provided examples of what I was talking about, so I covered my ass. I will also say that's one slip up to John's 387 up to this point. So
Wow. Jesus Christ. Just diverting from your folly. It's fine.
yeah, that was a hard right.
Jesus
That
Christ.
was an about
nobody
face.
expects me to throw you under the bus randomly.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So,
So funny.
I gotta say,
What's up?
I went to Islands of Adventure this weekend, and I was super weary about going to a theme park right now. Like, with everything going on, I was like, this seems like a really
Sketchy
colossally
idea.
bad
Yeah.
idea. Like, in the pantheon of bad ideas, this would be like the Zeus of bad ideas. And yet, I did it anyway because it was my wife's birthday, and that's what she wanted to do.
In your defense, really quick, in your defense, I know people that have gone to both Islands of Adventure and Disney in the past month, and they actually said Islands of Adventure is doing a better job of like adhering to good practice during quarantine
Protocols.
stuff. Yeah.
They are doing a pretty good job. Like everybody, so when I was there, everybody in the park was like following guidelines, following the little markers on the ground and wearing their masks at all times and all this kind of stuff. So like, wow, there's no real issues there. But still, like you're in this theme park just packed full of people, and you're
Was
like,
it really packed?
Compared to like what a theme park normally is, no, it was super empty.
But it's still the most
like,
amount of people and since you've been in quarantine.
By a long shot. Like I haven't been in anything even close to how many people I was around on Sunday.
Sunday.
But yeah, no, it was a pretty good experience overall, I have to say. Like she wanted to ride all the water rides and I was wearing jeans.
Oh,
so that fucking sucked.
Bro, so ill prepared for that. You got to bring a change of clothes if you're going to do water rides.
I didn't know we were going to Islands of Adventure.
I would have said no. I would have been like, look, you can go on them. I'm not going on them because Popeyes, you are just soaked after that.
Here's my thing about Popeye. Like,
as the character or the ride? Like
the
are you
ride.
about to shit on the okay. I thought you were like, here's the thing about Popeye and dumbass spinach.
Dude, I'm not about to shit on a character that's older than my great grandfather.
It's taking a stand on, and no one's taking a stand on Popeye right now. No one's dying on that cross.
But the thing with the rides, like 8 times out of 10 that I've ridden it, like most of the water effects aren't even on. So like it's like 50-50 if you're gonna get really wet or not, based on where you are in the barge.
That's not my experience.
When we went on that bitch on Sunday, everything was on. I didn't even know there was water coming from some of these places until Sunday. And like I was sitting in the seat that was like, fuck that seat in particular. Everything
you're always getting dug down into the water after all the dips and stuff.
Yeah, there's a big fucking waterfall in the middle of the ride that I didn't know existed. There's like a water tower that just like shoots water at you like crazy. That one was super fucked up because the second time that we went on it, we went on that ride 3 times for the record,
dude.
The second time we went on it, I went under the water, the water tower waterfall thing, and then we hit the wall and it bounced me back into it again. But we went on the Ripsaw Falls ride for the first time. Like we've never done it before. And fuck that ride in particular if you think you're going to stay dry.
Yeah, no, it's worse than Splash Mountain for sure.
I mean, it's way worse than Popeye.
Oh, really?
Way worse.
From what I remember,
like,
it's like from what I remember, Popeyes was always the worst offender. Like maybe it's because I'm a big guy and I'm in a freaking raft with a bunch of smaller people than me, so I just pull the raft down under my big ass and I'm always getting soaked when I go in the dips and stuff. But I've always had I've had a great time on the ride, but I've always come out soaking wet.
So let me describe to you how this went down. The first thing that we did when we went in there, mind you, I didn't even mention this until now, but mind you, it's raining on Sunday. So like we were fucked from the get, but it's raining. And we're walking through the park, whatever, and it's like a light drizzle. Who cares, right? And the first thing that we did is we queued up for the new Hagrid's ride that replaced the Dueling Dragons.
Is it a virtual queue?
Yeah. I mean, there's like a real line too, so I don't know what the point of the virtual queue is, but like you have to line up in this virtual queue before you have the right to get into the real line.
Okay.
Which is also the longest line I've ever been in any theme park. What? Not in terms of like people, but like they made it super duper long so that you can stay socially distanced in the line.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a super popular ride.
Yeah.
So like, you know where Dueling Dragons is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, this I hope I can describe this well enough that listeners can like stay with me here. But like, so you're at Dueling Dragons in Hogsmeade,
Mm-hmm.
and the line for this ride goes in front of the Hogwarts Express out of Hogsmeade. So now you're into the adventure area of Universal. Then it keeps coming down along that path past where you get on the Hogwarts Express to go to Universal proper from Islands of Adventure, down into the, I don't know what they call that adventure land area in Universal. I don't know if you do, but you go into like the main fountain area where all that shit is.
Mm-hmm.
It goes up into that castle area, up around the wall to the left of that, goes up to where you would go into the theater area there, cuts in front of that so you don't actually go in, but it like wraps around, continues following the wall all the way through that courtyard, wraps around the other side of that courtyard, comes back through the entrance to this area, and then goes back down towards where the Dr. Seuss area is. And that's where the line actually starts.
I mean, that's insane. That
Yeah.
you might as well like that sounds absolutely insane. That's a long ass line.
Dude, it was to the point where like we went up to where you imagine the line would start. And they were like, "Oh no, you need to get into the line over there." So what we thought is where the two employees are standing right at the entrance to Hogsmeade. We're like, "Oh, okay, we'll just go over there." Like, no, it starts down there. So we start walking down there, and we get to the main area of that adventure area, and they're like, "Okay, yeah. You got the virtual line? Okay, you're good. You get in right here." We're like, "Okay." And then we realized that it cuts into that courtyard area. We're like, "Oh, okay. We're just gonna like make a quick U-turn." Why are you guys going that way? Oh shit! And there's like a whole line that goes around this corner. So we follow that, and then we get to the other side of the courtyard, and they turn right. I'm like, where the fuck are you going? Holy shit! It opens up over here. It's like every time we turn a corner, it just gets longer.
Damn, that's impressive.
What's really impressive is that despite how long that was, we were in line for maybe 15 minutes.
I think that's why they do the virtual queue. There has to be some good reason why, because Volcano Bay does all virtual queue as well.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure every water ride at Volcano Bay is a virtual queue first, and then you go into the actual line itself. It's just for better balancing. So I mean, 15 minutes. If you're being real, you waited in that line for 15 minutes until you got on the line.
Until we got on the ride.
So you went through that entire line in 15 minutes.
That entire line that I just described to you, and the queue for the ride itself, like its natural built-in queue
in 15 minutes.
Like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's
about something
incredible.
Like that. It really is.
On a normal theme park day, I couldn't get a freaking Coke in 15 minutes, let alone get on a ride, you know?
So I will say that every ride that we went on was 30 minutes or less to get on the ride itself.
I mean, it's phenomenal. That's really is phenomenal.
Yeah, it was incredible from that perspective. It was to the point where like I was starting to get annoyed that the lines were so short because like I was like, why do I have to walk through all of these twists and turns? Like, isn't there a quicker way to just get to the front of the damn line?
Oh, well, you were just experiencing it all so quickly, and you're like, oh my god, this is obnoxious, just twirling around the...
Yeah, because it's not like a normal theme park day where you, like, go for 2 steps and stop for a minute. And you're just constantly walking. It's just straight walking through the queue, so it gets really obnoxious to have to make the twists and turns and all that. So anyway... rolling back, so like we were walking towards that, and the first thing that we saw was Kong, and the wait for Kong was 5 minutes. So we were like, you know what, let's just jump in there real quick. We have a second before we have to get into the virtual queue for the Hagrid ride, so let's just do that. 5 minutes was generous. I think that's the lowest they could make it, because it was not even 5 minutes before we were on that ride.
Walk right on the bus?
Yeah.
What do you think of that
just
ride?
Straight through it. I think it's okay.
It's all right, right?
Yeah, like even before the pandemic shit that they implemented for it. I thought the ride was fine. Now when you have the mask and then you have those 3D glasses on and shit, it just blows your hot breath into
Yeah.
it and fogs it up the whole time, which fucking ruins the entire thing pretty much. But even still, it's fine. Like for something that you only have to walk through the line instead of waiting in it for, it was worth it.
Okay.
So we did that, and then we walked over to Hagrid's and we rode that, and that ride's dope, dude. Like,
Everyone tells me that's the best coaster in Universal and IOA right now. Lauren freaking cried after getting off that ride for the first time. Now, she's a bit of a ham.
Not that good.
She's a bit of a ham.
I was gonna say it's not that good.
Yeah, but I mean, she was blown away by it. Everyone I've talked to has said, "Oh my god, it's an incredible ride! It's so unique and original." Yada yada. I still have yet to ride it.
It's really. I mean, I don't even know if it's that unique and original. In IOA, it is. It might be the best ride that IOA has. Either that or the Hulk. I'm not sure.
Ooh, it's a classic.
Yeah, the Hulk is really good. But we did not ride the Hulk because it was raining too much. But it's cool. Like you get on the motorcycle and then you have somebody sitting in the little sidecar or whatever with you, and like you can hold onto the handles. I wish that there was some way that you could like rev up the motorcycle or like interact with it in some way, but you can't. And then the cool part about that ride is that there's a number of places on it where it just rockets you forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get like tremendous amount of speeds through loops and shit like that. And it's a cool ride. It's definitely at least tied with Hulk, if not better than Hulk. Like it's definitely on that level. It's a really good ride.
Nice.
So anyway, we rode that and we're like, that was fucking awesome. What do you want to do next? And they're like, well, our friend is actually here in the park too. They're about to go on Jurassic Park, so we want to do that. And we're like, okay. Fuck my life. We're just gonna get soaking wet today. That's fine. So we go into Jurassic Park and we go through the line, which is actually longer than I expected. That was like a 10-minute wait. Which is such an absurd thing to say, but like compared to the rest of the queues that we went through that day, like that was one of the longer ones. And we get up to the front. We're like, okay, there's 4 of us. Okay, you guys are gonna be in row 1. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. Like, all right. And I had heard that Jurassic Park had been redone to be more like Jurassic World, but no. It's the same ride.
I think that was California.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
I think it's probably coming to Orlando. But I think California was one that was updated.
So it was funny though on that ride because they were like, "Hey, since you guys are in the front, you can take off your masks for this ride, so that they don't, like you can just enjoy the ride or whatever." It was like we were like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. I think I'm just gonna leave the mask on, whatever." That was a fucking mistake.
Oh no.
Because I left it on, but I have a cloth mask. So when we went down the drop at the end, I just got hammered in the face with water. So my mask was just drenched, dude. Like I took it off and I had to like wring that motherfucker out, and it was awful.
And then you had to breathe in hyper humidified air.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't actually very hot because it was just like rainy and overcast all day, but it really was like, I don't know, it was almost like being waterboarded, dude, because you have this cloth mask over your face, and you're just like trying to breathe in through water and shit. Mm-hmm. It's awful. And so my wife's like, okay, so let's go on Ripsaw Rapids next. The fuck? Why? Why do you want to do that? We're soaking wet. She's like, no, you guys are soaking wet. I'm not wet. Okay. I guess we'll go on Ripsaw Falls then, whatever. And we'd never done that before. I didn't know what to expect from this ride. But first of all, fuck the little log that you get in for this ride. That thing is the most uncomfortable ride I've ever been on by a long shot.
Well, I
Like
mean,
I'm way too tall for this ride.
yeah, you're a big man, Dean. You know, you're tall.
I'm bro, bro, I'm not Taco Fall. Like I'm a little bit above average maybe, but like I'm not immensely. I'm not fucking trying out for the NBA, right? Like but they get you up into the flume
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, okay, so the way this ride works, we need smaller people here, bigger people here, and they like organize you into where you're actually going to sit in the log ride,
Mm-hmm.
which I've also never really experienced before. I was like, I don't know what the deal with that is. Well, I quickly found out what the deal with that is. So they put me right in the middle, and I'm like crunched in there like a hobbit, trying to not break my legs because you have to like. It's one of those rides where you have to like squeeze your legs underneath the person in front of you,
Yeah.
and so like I'm super uncomfortable. I got the lap bar like crushing my rib cage in, and then they just kind of like drop you into the water and you float along. I'm like, okay, well, I may be wildly uncomfortable, but at least this is going to be like a calm, little relaxing ride through this waterway until we fall off the ledge, like in a Splash Mountain, which is what I was expecting. No, my expectations were dead ass wrong. Because what actually happens is they have like smaller drops, but because of the buoyancy between the people inside the log and the how, for lack of a better word, light the log itself is, when you go down those little drops or whatever, you get flooded with water. So after the very first one, we were all soaked. And we were getting kind of annoyed because like even though we got blasted in the face with water on Jurassic Park, we were still kind of dry. And then this ride was just like, fuck you and your dryness. We're going to soak you from head to toe. And then as you go up the lift for the final drop, there's just a waterfall there. So you're getting absolutely drenched from head to toe. Like there's no way you're getting out of that ride dry in any way, shape, or form. And then it drops you down this big hill of water.
I don't know why you
So
went in the water. I never go on the water rides. I would have bought new clothes there. I would have found some like basketball shorts and a shirt, and I would have just changed.
you know it's funny because like my wife and her friend did that. Like they bought
Yeah.
sweaters and pants to change into because they were so cold after a while. But like the water rides are her favorite, and it was her birthday, so we're just like, whatever, we'll just do the water rides.
Man.
So yeah, like after that, she was like, all right, now let's do Popeye
Oh,
3 times.
I'm sure the weight
That's a
wasn't
lot
that
of
much on
Popeye
Popeye.
goodness right there.
It's a lot of spinach.
Popeye was actually like, so the first time we went on, it was completely empty. We had to go through the gigantic queue,
Yeah.
and then we just walked right onto the ride. The second time we waited for like 2 seconds at the very end, and then the third time there was almost a lines forming, but it moved by really quickly because it's not that bad like it normally is in the summer. So we got through all 3 um goes of the ride in like 40 minutes.
That's one ride. That's half of one ride usually. That's nuts.
That's like half of the queue for one
yeah,
ride.
that's what I mean. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then after that we went on Spider-Man and we bailed because we were just so cold and miserable. But
Lauren and my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, group of people are going to Hollywood Studios on Monday, and they want me to take off, but I really don't want to go. But I might end up
so
doing
don't
it.
go.
Yeah, I know. My excuse is I have to work, which is a good excuse.
Yeah, so work.
I work all the time, so I might just use that again. But I
will say though,
I do love the rides there at Hollywood Studios. The Galaxy's Edge. It is a really awesome freaking section of the park, so it's a lot of fun to go to.
I still haven't gone.
You'd have a really good
But now
time.
that-
You really would.
Yeah, but now that I'm not a pass holder, Disney is so fucking expensive. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to commit to. Well, what I would do if I were you, not this year, but next year, there's probably gonna be crazy like Florida resident discounts, like 4 parks for.
please come back.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think they're gonna have crazy like premium, probably not park hopper, but like individual tickets. How they usually bundle them up. So I think that'll be your opportunity to go, and you should definitely make your way over to Galaxy's Edge and call me because I want to go too with you. I'm still a
Well,
pass holder.
call me.
Call me.
I mean, that's a big reason why we went too, because they were having a deal for Universal where you buy a day and you get the rest of the year park hopper tickets for free. So
Damn. Oh, they're actually letting people. So they have 2 or 3 haunted houses for open, and you can
yeah,
go through them. Like they're not doing their normal Halloween Horror Nights, but like you can still queue up and go through them with general admission, which is kind of cool.
yeah, it's impossible though. Like we got there almost right when they opened, and they had big signs out front already saying that they were all queued up for the entire day for those.
Wow. When was the last time you went to Halloween Horror Nights?
Uh, I don't think that I've ever gone in Florida.
Oh man.
So it's been what, 10 years, something like
You
that.
went to um, Universal in California?
Yeah.
Nice.
Universal Studios Hollywood.
John, do you like the theme parks, or do you go to the theme parks there in SoCal at all?
I am strictly adverse to going to Disneyland because it's more for kids.
Tell my wife
When
that.
I go to theme parks, I go for thrills and entertainment. So my choices would be Six Flags at the top,
Ooh.
and then Knott's Berry Farm after that.
That might change for you here real quick, my boy.
I mean, I understand that, but like that's the choices that
What
I
about
have within earshot.
what about California Adventure? Isn't that more themey?
Within earshot, you have every choice under the sun in California.
I mean, yeah, but like I also have to like plan a day to do it and like allot some time, and especially right now, that's not happening.
No,
But
definitely.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
no, I mean California Adventure, I really haven't been to. I've heard like yeah, you go there and get drunk, and I was like, but I can go to other theme parks that I consider better for cheaper and get more drunk. Like I don't, it's not an argument for me.
Here's my thing about Disneyland. Like, I kind of understand where you're coming from with the "it's for kids" comment, but the thing about Disneyland, Disney World, Disney whatever, is that they make them for everybody. And that goes for like how they're family friendly, but it also goes for like how accommodating that they are. Like they bend over ass backwards to make sure no matter who you are, you can have a good time there. They have
Mhm.
thrill rides, um they have kiddie rides, they have food memorabilia, like all this shit. If you're a 700-pound elephant and you want to go on this ride, they have a seat to accommodate you. Like Disney is incredible when it comes to guest experience.
Yeah, and
Like way better than everybody else.
yeah, I would say that for maybe Disney World in like options, like it probably because I haven't been to California Adventure and I don't remember because I've been there, I just don't remember what it was like because it was a while ago. Because like last time my mom got park hopper tickets for us, but it was like years and years. But like Disneyland, uh, like there's probably like maybe one, two good rides in there that I would enjoy, and then like it's whatever. Like downtown Disney's cool. Like the food there is excellent. Like I love the food there, but like it's not enough for that price tag in my opinion. Like it's not enough joy for that price tag. Like for Six Flags, I got season passes, and like we bent over backwards to go there because it's in Valencia, which is like 30-40 minute
That's
drive.
not close.
Yeah, but every time we went, like had a blast. And then latched on the fact that you could go to what was it, Hurricane Harbor, which is super fun.
Yeah.
It just sucked one of the times we went there that it caught on fire. It's interesting.
What?
The water park caught on fire.
Yeah,
I love it.
like not
I love
exaggerating
it.
that. That is not hyperbole. Legit caught on fire, and everybody had to evacuate. Like it was probably one of the most scarier experiences ever. Transporting the whole family and your pregnant fiance while everybody's freaking out because there's just roaring fires right at the park.
What?
Yeah.
Was that because of the forest fires over there? Or?
I'm not sure. I think it was just because it was super dry. Because like this was during the summertime last year, where it was super dry, and it just some just caught on fire near the entrance, and like billows of smoke happened. It was like literally right when we got there. Like we went there early specifically because last time we got there late, couldn't get like a raft. I mean, we still had fun, but like it was too crowded at the time. So it was like, fuck it. This is my birthday. We're gonna go earlier, and we're gonna have a great time. And then like while we were there for less than an hour, the motherfucker caught on fire. It was great. It's
You
great.
can't make that shit up. Only in California.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like as of right now, I've only had adequate experience and memories of Disneyland, and it's just not for the price tag. It's not fun enough for me. It's not worth it. That's
Dude,
just how I see
I
it.
feel you.
so I Googled Hurricane Harbor because I had never heard of it before. And they have a ride called the Black Hole. And this ride was actually at Wet n Wild years ago, before Wet n Wild was bought and torn down and they put hotels up there. Universal bought it. I think it's the legit same exact ride. It looks very similar. It's the same concept. It's just like I just got a really big nostalgia bomb, and
Aren't they owned by the same company?
I don't know, but I don't know. I never thought about other like water parks using similar designs, or just like going to like like some kind of engineering company or whomever makes these rides and going, okay, we'll take one black hole, one dive bomber, one one this slide, whatever, and just it just never occurred to me that they would share rides or something. I don't know.
It's Wet n Wild was owned by NBC. But no, yeah, like as it turns out, I didn't know this either until I met a buddy of mine at my last job who's like a fanatic for roller coasters and theme parks, but like roller coasters aren't designed for a park. They're designed as a ride, and then parks buy them and customize them for whatever their aesthetic is. So if you go to enough theme parks, you'll see the same ride multiple times with like an Incredible Hulk theme and an Aztec theme if you're a Knott's Berry Farm or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a lot of these,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they seem familiar.
So I will say, I would go out of my way to go to Hurricane Harbor at Six Flags again. There's this ride called, I'm looking it up. It's the Cliffhanger, but literally probably the most heart pound inducing experience I've ever had on a ride. You're at the top of like the tallest tower in the whole park. You can see the whole parking lot, everything. And they put you in this tube encased in water, like there's a glass tube, and you're closed in it, and you just hear a countdown. Like it's totally silent there, and like my heart is pounding. You hear a countdown, and the floor opens up under you, and you drop into the slide, and then hit the water and slide all the way down. It is insane, and it was super fucking fun.
They had the exact same ride too, same concept and everything at Wet n Wild. It was called Bombay. Never, like, it was there throughout my entire childhood. I never had the courage to go on it. It just terrified me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
You know what I will never go on is those Supreme Scream style rides.
Like
Doctor Doom in Islands of Adventure.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not doing that shit.
You know why?
Happening.
So I was okay with them, and then I watched Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and there was an episode where D is on one of those rides and she got her hair dreaded for whatever reason, and her hair gets caught in the ride before they like go up or get dropped. I mean, so they're at the top, her hair gets caught in the ride, and then they're about to drop her. When they drop her, like rips off like a swath of her hair and everything. I have long hair, so like ever since seeing that, I'm like, I don't want to. I don't know. It's an irrational fear. It probably will never happen, but it's still like it still haunts me to this day.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because like there was actually, it wasn't Supreme Scream or Doctor Doom. I forget which one it is, but it's the same style of ride. And I guess it was working as expected, but since they were so bad at maintaining the ride, one of the cables snapped while they were in motion on the ride and just like sheared this girl's legs off mid ride. And I'm like, no. That's why you're never gonna catch me on that shit.
I'm good, bro.
Like, hell no.
Hell to the no.
Oh, this water park is so. It's so weird seeing pine trees and stuff in a water park for me. Like the aesthetic of this park just looks. It's like shocking for some reason. I'm just used to palm trees.
Speaking of shocking, how about the end of this movie?
Oh my god, we've been talking for like 45 minutes and not even about this damn movie. Okay.
Like, what are we even talking about?
I don't even know. I forgot we were recording.
Water
really.
parks.
I did. It's just we were just talking about random shit.
So,
Solo,
a Star Wars movie, the second of the side story, and maybe the last, actually.
I hope not.
Where we sit right now. I don't think so, but
I think we'll get a. Well, no, I think it's going to be a series. The Obi-Wan, the one that's been teased for years and years now. I think that's going to be a series.
I just hope that they stop delaying them eventually and actually start releasing some movies at some point. But they did release this movie. And as always, I must ask, what did you guys think?
I liked it.
Short, sweet, and to the point. Okay, John.
It was it wasn't as bad as I remember it. But it wasn't spectacular. Like, it was just, for me, it was like most of the roles other than the guy who played Han Solo and Donald Glover who played Lando Calrissian and like Woody Harrelson, like they're pretty wooden and weren't that great, in my opinion.
I actually liked Donald Glover in this a lot. I didn't mind the casting. I like Donald Glover a lot. I like the guy that played Han. I actually kind of liked him. Woody Harrelson, of course, love him and like everything he does. This was a pretty different character than what he usually plays, but I think he did a pretty good job. And then whoever played Drayden was very good. I know the actor, but I don't know names.
Paul Bettany.
Yeah, very, very good. And of course, Khaleesi, whose name escapes me, Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke.
I thought she was good enough.
It was.
She was definitely not my favorite.
Yeah, it seemed a lot of her lines and interactions seemed like they were forced, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They didn't feel natural or organic.
You know who was fucking great in this movie, though? Warwick Davis.
Oh my god. Where was Warwick Davis in here?
You don't remember? Like at the very end when the Marauders all unmask themselves, he's just one of the Marauders randomly for some reason.
Christ. He's just showing up in every fucking Star Wars movie as a cameo.
He really is, dude. Like,
oh my god.
They're just like, you know what? Let's find a way to work Warwick Davis into this. Okay, like a really short Marauder? Brilliant. Let's go with it.
Oh, a bystander in the pod races? Yes, do it.
Do it. Turns out Warwick Davis is the Sith Lord we've been looking for.
Right? He's like in the final movie, actually, you could slow it down and you see him running in the background on split screen. He's actually puppeteering Palpatine.
So, I gotta say, So I've been kind of like on the fence about this movie since it came out. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't like it either. I was just kind of like, that was a movie, I guess. I always kind of felt like we didn't need an origin story for Han Solo. And I was really worried after watching Rogue One again and being less high on that movie than I was originally that I was going to really fucking hate this movie.
Blasphemy.
And I was surprised to find out that like I actually like it a little bit more than I remembered, but not a whole lot. It's still I'm kind of with John. Like it's fine.
Hey,
It's a
Yeah.
movie.
I was saying
Middle
No.
ground.
that it would
Y-
surprise.
You were
I didn't say
saying,
how much
yeah,
it
you
would
were saying I was
surprise.
surprised. I was surprised that it was slightly more than mediocre.
So
So I guess if you want to take a W for that one,
I thanks actually, yeah.
like yeah, I'm just gonna pat myself on the
Yeah,
back. Hold on.
I've actually got a speech prepared. Hold on, let me find it. No, I wrote like my overall for this was just one sentence, and I wrote it's a good movie that has a pretty slow start, but it has a really excellent third act. I thought it ended pretty well.
Dude, I disagree with that entirely. Like, I thought it started out really strong, and by the end, I was like, good God.
I mean, I thought after they got off Corellia, it was slow. I thought like the
okay.
yeah, like
Yeah.
because that first part with Lady Proxima and in the speeder chases, which were shot really well. I mean, beautiful cinematography throughout all of Corellia and the speeder chases. But after that, it really waned for a long time for me. But I love I love the ending of this movie. I really do. I thought they made a bold choice to bring back that one surprise little character at the end there.
God damn it. I actually didn't like that part. I feel like
That's
that
fucking
was
stupid.
Nope.
I feel like it was pandering
Nope.
fan service and linking it.
Nope.
I just
That's
didn't like it.
canonical as fuck. That is so imbued with the expanded story in Clone Wars
I
and everything.
understand that, yes, but I didn't like it. That's just what I'm saying. That's my 2 cents about it. I didn't like it.
I reject your opinion.
I hated almost everything about that.
Why? Because you
It
just wanted
felt
Darth Maul
super
dead?
forced.
Darth Maul has an
It just-
incredible story during Clone Wars, and to bring him
It's
back
just
like
He
this
does.
is
super
Like,
awesome.
I don't
forced.
have a dude. I don't even want to get into the Darth Maul thing again with you. But I don't have a problem with Darth Maul. I think he's a cool looking character, and I think what they did with him in Clone Wars, even though it's incredibly stupid that he's alive,
Yeah.
was really fun. It was really cool, and I liked it. I love all of Clone Wars for the most part. Like season 1 and 2 is pretty weak, but I don't dislike 1 and 2. Like Clone Wars is great. This isn't Clone Wars, though. Like I don't want to see him anymore.
Well, it still fits in with the timeline. It just makes sense. Like it's just
How does it make?
because he's
How does it make
he's
sense?
leading
You
this
gotta
faction of the
expound.
syndicate. That's his faction of the syndicate that he leads. And even
But
even
why-
with him still being on Dathomir, which I love, they dropped that too, his homeworld. Like they just it was small, yeah. And if they never make a follow up to this, and if they never bring it up again, then I think they'll miss out on a pretty large opportunity. I think if they do a Obi-Wan series or a movie, it should heavily be centered around Darth Maul and how he finished. No,
Dude,
Yeah.
if they make an Obi-Wan movie and Darth Maul is in it, I'm gonna be fucking mad.
that's the canon.
I don't fuck the canon.
No, the
dude.
canon's
Like, I
good.
just- First, stop it! Like, I don't care if the canon's good. I just want something that's not bastardized by the greater Star Wars universe. Like, here's my problem. Here's my real problem with this. There's a small universe issue that goes on with Star Wars, which is to say that like everything is connected to these tiny group of people in this gigantic fucking galaxy that is Star Wars. You could have a story about anybody. And instead, we keep coming back to the Skywalkers. Darth Maul is showing up here randomly for no good reason. Like they keep interweaving these things that just don't need to be interwoven with each other. And like, if they're gonna give me the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie that I really deserve at this point, after what I've dealt with for the last few years with Star Wars and Disney, I don't want to see Darth Maul. I don't want to see fucking nothing, man. I just want to see Obi-Wan doing some Obi-Wan shit
You don't think
without the interference of all this other crap.
So you're basically asking for a standalone movie that's good on its own merits, and then it just so happens to tie into the greater mythos and overarching story of the trilogy or whatever amount of movies of Star Wars. Is that what you're asking for?
Yeah, fancy that. Kind of like The Mandalorian.
Yeah. No, you're not gonna fucking get that. Not even a little bit. They're going to fan service. If it's created, they will fan service the fuck out of it.
I would have agreed with you had they not put a halt on Star Wars movies after Episode 9 and gone, we need to reevaluate. That at least gives me a shred of hope that they're going to be like, okay, we've been fucking up, guys. But people like that thing. Let's do more things like that thing.
Just have Jon Favreau run the ship. 100%.
Dean, if you want an isolated and great Star Wars story, play Fallen Order.
God damn it.
Play it. Shut up and play it. It's very good. It's all, you don't know any of the characters, and they're all new, and you learn to either love or hate them, and it's great. There's really only like one major callback to a character in the entire game, and it's the game's awesome. You have to play it. And you get to climb the freaking I think the life tree on Kashyyyk. Like you spend a large portion of the game at Kashyyyk, and it's beautiful and awesome. And there's Wookiees, and there's things that you chop in half with lightsabers, and it's great. You got to play it. That's my review. Things you chop in half with lightsabers. 8 out of 10. But I also worry. Okay. So with your opinion like that, don't you worry that they'll struggle if they make a movie, not a series, but if they make a movie, would they not struggle trying to introduce new characters and present them in a way that you'll by the end of it maybe care about some struggle or some little micro story that they went through or their own arc? Like, do you not think that they would kind of, like, you may come out of that with the opposite opinion of, they made this Obi-Wan movie and the only character I knew was Obi-Wan. I didn't care about anybody else because they didn't have any type of backstory at all. They weren't already introduced into the lore, and maybe
you're describing a bad movie. Of course, if they make a bad movie, I'm going to come out that way.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. They've already established that. Whatever. You're going to get callbacks, and you're going to get Darth Maul in an Obi-Wan series or movie. It's going to probably happen, especially if it's Filoni and Favreau that have anything to do with it whatsoever. Especially Filoni, you're going to get Darth Maul in that Obi-Wan. You're going to get. Here's what I would. You're going to get.
Here's what I would
some
say.
Chocolate in your vanilla. You're going to get some peanut butter in your smoothie. Okay.
Yeah, that fell apart real quick.
It did. It really did. I struggled there.
This is what I would say. Like, if you're making an Obi-Wan series, I think that's what they're making, right? It's a series.
I don't know if that's confirmed or not. I think it's a series. I'm pretty sure it's a series and not a movie. I think it was originally a movie, and then they're like, well, we should probably make it a series. So I don't know where it stands now.
Yeah, it's a series.
Okay.
So, like, if they have a series and, like, one season is about Darth Maul, that's fine. Knock yourself out.
Okay.
But if you have like a 4-season series and it's all about him fucking with Darth Maul, I'm like, come on, guys, you gotta stop. This is out of hand.
That would probably be a little excessive, but because I think it's only toward.
You know, it'd be really excessive is if they had like this entire, it's like a 6-season epic Kenobi TV show, and then at the end, it's like, surprise, bitch, I wasn't Kenobi at all. I'm actually Darth Revan.
I think I would cry.
Straight up. I love the surprise bitch. Like, that's my favorite.
Did you see the new lightsaber that they teased for the High Republic stuff. It's another freaking hilt based, oh, damn it, not like Kylo's, but it has the something at the end of it which protects the hand and stuff.
Yeah, I actually tried to send you a picture of it before, because like this design actually makes sense and it's not stupid.
I think this is when. Well, we've already talked about why Kylo's saber is the way that it is. This one, I don't know the practicality of why they had to do it this way, but it looks really cool. I think it looks cool.
Did you know that Kylo Ren's lightsaber, his kyber crystal, is unstable, like you were
Yeah.
talking about, because he himself crushed it?
I'm sure I knew that at one point and had just forgotten it. I just knew that it was unstable or cracked or something.
Yeah, like he was trying to build his lightsaber shit, and he threw another temper tantrum and just like crushed it a little bit.
Like, it's not even far-fetched. It's like, totally get it. Yep, keep going.
Stellan Geos. Oh, I didn't even see the name on here. Stellan Geos.
I can't wait for that shit to come out. Like that all looks really cool. I gotta catch up on all the Star Wars comics before that starts, though, man.
Are they doing any High Republic stuff though? Because this is before.
Oh yeah,
what we know.
Yeah, dude. They're going hard. Like High Republic's gonna be everything Star Wars when this starts up. Of course, with the pandemic and everything, they've pushed everything back. But
yeah,
we're not talking about High Republic today.
Okay, all right, yeah, we'll move on.
So
no, like this is what I'm saying. Like this is how I feel. Like 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 this movie's middle ground because we keep segueing into different topics because like not really much exciting happens in the movie. Like it's cool, yeah, it's interesting to a point, but it's nothing that's like wow, holy shit, that was amazing. Like I can't stop thinking about this. It's just like
You know what I was thinking for a lot of the movie? Man, I wish this was a Chewbacca movie instead.
Right? Like, how did Chewbacca end up there and ended up being like their like slay beast or whatever, like where they feed people to him, I guess, or like some shit. Yeah. And then on top of that, Han just randomly knows a little bit of Wookiee. Like, what the fuck?
Bro, I made a note about that. I was like, why does he actually speak Shiriwook? Why would he ever need that?
I think he's the only character I've ever seen in Star Wars that speaks it back to to a Wookiee.
And it's not just like one or two times. It's like it's pretty prevalent when he does it. Like he actually does like the noise and everything. I'm pretty sure the actor practiced that shit a long time to get that shit right.
Speaking of speaking Shiriwook, is this movie the first time that we've ever heard Chewbacca's name said in Shiriwook?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there's
at least that we know of.
I thought that line was kind of weak though. He's like, Chewbacca, I'm not going to call you that. I'm going to call you Chewie. I'm like, it's almost the same syllables, you lazy ass. Just like they should have wrote it to where he never even says his full name. Like Chewie should have went on this like 5 minute, like 5 minute long crazy surname of his, and then Han should have been like, yeah, I'm not calling you that. You're Chewie.
I mean, he kind of does. Like the way that he says it in Shiriwook is a lot longer than saying Chewbacca.
Yeah.
To be fair.
To be fair.
But I was like really compelled by Chewbacca in this movie. Like this whole like how did he the mystery of how we got from episode 3 where he's like a general on Kashyyyk to now he's in chains and is just like a Rancor style pit beast for the Empire.
Yep.
And he's trying to like find and save his family and like all this. I'm like, man, like fuck Han Solo. Fuck this guy who I don't even Beckett. Fuck Beckett. Fuck Val. Fuck Rio. Like fuck all these characters. Like I just want more Chewbacca. Can we erase this, do it over, and just make it a Chewbacca movie?
How amazing would that be if they made a straight movie where not even subtitles, you just have to go off of acting subtext of what he's saying and what's going on. Like, dude,
You're from the
fuck.
perspective of someone who doesn't know Shiriwook. So the entire movie, it's literally just 90 minutes of like you've no
Yeah.
idea what he's saying. It's just watching his actions. You might as well be watching a silent film.
But think about
That would be amazing.
But think about it. They would have to focus on like so many cinematic aspects to make like scenes more impactful, more powerful, and they would have to pay attention. Like lighting would be way more important. Like his background will be way more important. Like when the camera pans in, when it pans out, what you're actually seeing in the shot, like his body language, like they would have to make a great movie or it would just automatically fall on his face.
I don't think there's a studio in the world bold enough to take that challenge, right?
I mean, they took on the challenge of making a sequel to 8, and why not?
I mean, yeah, but 8 had real dialogue. Imagine you only knowing the
Did it?
dialogue through the context of other characters' interaction with them. I think it'd be cool, and you would have to really have Chewie be. He already kind of is like a silent protagonist. He doesn't speak that often, but it would have to be even more in a 90-minute movie unless you're going to drive the audience nuts. It'd be a really cool challenge. Something I wish that they would allow indie teams, like really smaller, like small studios, to be like, okay, look, we want you to make an independent Chewie film. Just you don't have access to any of the expanded characters. Just something unique. Show me what Chewie does. Maybe during the Battle of Kashyyyk or something, we'll let you have Yoda for 5 minutes, right? But just in that battle, show me from a Wookiee's perspective the invasion and the Empire taking over, and then it's just a smaller team.
Wookiee.
That'd be cool.
You know what my favorite scene in this whole movie was, actually? That scene where they're like around the campfire and they're like talking about what they're gonna do with the score after the mission is over and all that. And Chewie has this whole rigmarole about how he's looking for his family and all that. And Rio asks Han what he said, because he's the only character in the galaxy who doesn't know Shiriwook, apparently. It's just so fucking refreshing to see somebody who doesn't understand what Chewbacca is saying.
He just didn't take that class. He skipped that day.
God,
damn it! He skipped that day in intergalactic language class.
I swear to God, like you would swear to God, like Shiriwook is just taught to every man, woman, and child in the galaxy.
It's pretty
comparable.
Intense.
It's comparable to how basically every other like superpower, like Japan, China, like all these other places that like are very isolated and practice isolationism and very self-centered, they still learn English because we're a superpower and like that shit, like they know they're going to come in contact with it at some point in time in their life. Like there's no avoiding it. Like I feel like that's how that it's probably with Shiriwook.
Yeah, except like Kashyyyk is not only not a superpower, but it's just like hella subjugated by the Empire, who just thinks about them as nothing but walking carpets. Like there's no fun. This would be like if there was just some random nobody country in the middle of East Jesus nowhere, and yet everybody on the planet knows that language.
Basically.
I mean,
it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's never made sense to me because you have linguists like that on Earth, but a lot of time is devoted to learning multiple languages, and they have the benefit of living on the same planet and a lot of them having the same roots. So there's some similarities. Now, some languages are completely different and they're very difficult to learn, but we're talking about learning Common or English and then also learning a language where your source of communication is growls. Like,
dude, this would be like if you and I learned how to speak dog.
I agree.
Like,
yeah.
We found out tomorrow that our dogs are actually like hyper sentient and we just didn't understand all this time. They have this really deep, in-depth culture and then we took the time to learn how to speak their language. Like that is the equivalent of what we're talking about here. Like the fact that there's anybody who speaks Shiriwook that's not a Wookiee is fucking ludicrous. Much less that it's as common as these movies make it seem. But I will say that it was kind of cool to see, like, when Han was trying to speak to Chewbacca, like, Chewie was looking at him like, the fuck are you trying to say? I think I got that.
He looked at him like you were to. It's the same expression. If you go to a dog and start barking at them, they tilt their head. They're like, "What? Wait, what?" They're so confused by what's going on.
It reminded me of, John, you might get this reference, of like when they're doing post-game interviews in the NBA, and it's like NBA on TV, TNT, and Shaq is one of their commentators. One of the things he likes to do is try and say things to the foreign players in their native language, even though he doesn't speak any of them.
What? Oh, fuck. Yeah.
he just does it really fucking bad.
Yeah.
There was one where he was trying to speak Greek to Giannis, and he goes on this fucking tirade in Greek, and Kenny Smith is just like, he doesn't know what you're saying, dude. And Shaq's just like indignant about it. He's like, you understood what I was saying, don't you, brother?
Oh, you know for a fact that he fucked up and that he knows that he's in wrong when he has to pull out the brother card. He's like, he's basically he's subvertly saying, is like, get my back, say you know what I mean, even if you don't, please help me out, Jesus Christ.
I'm drowning here.
I'm begging you.
And Giannis is like the nicest human being on the planet. He was just like, kind of.
Like, that's the best I can give you right now. Because if anybody else who speaks Greek like looks at this, I will lose my Greek card if I say yes.
It was funny because like you could see his face while he's trying to speak to him, and he's just like, "What the fuck are you trying to? Thank you."
Like that's when your eyes get like really, really tight, and you're just like trying to concentrate as hard as you can. It's like still nothing. Nope. Fuck. Nope. And then it gets wide when you just give up. It's like, nope. Don't understand what you're saying. Just stop, please.
I'm just going down a rabbit hole.
Of course you are. Now. Once again, it proves my point. This is a middle of the road freaking movie. Like
it kind of does.
I couldn't. Like I literally was talking with Kim, and like I was like, I watched it, and I don't remember like if it was good or not. Like that's how I know when a movie is middle of the road for me. Because you know me, Dean. Like I have a pretty good effing memory, especially for things that I enjoy, and like I can like throw out arbitrary like little known facts about this kind of shit because you know I go down a rabbit hole and I find everything about stuff that I like, and like but with this like I basically can't recall anything. The only thing I recalled before I watched the movie is that Donald Glover looked cool as shit when they introduced him. And he was wearing a yellow fucking blazer that I would love to buy and wear. But other than that, like nothing really memorable. Oh, and the Darth Maul scene, which like was like, why? That was about it.
Let me throw this at you guys. When this movie was first being developed, it was being headed up by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who you might be more familiar with as the guys who made 21 Jump Street and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. However, the word on the street is that Disney felt like the movie that they were creating wasn't working. It was too comedic. So they canceled, or they fired them off the movie and got Ron Howard to come in behind them and quote unquote fix the movie, which is how we got the movie that we got today.
Yeah, I knew that.
Explains a lot.
I like Ron Howard. I really mostly know him from Arrested Development, though. But I do kind of like Ron Howard. I do.
I love Ron Howard. I think that like his movies are some of my favorite, to be honest.
Yeah, and like with him and Arrested Development, see, Arrested Development is like a comedic masterpiece in the fact that there's so many like Inception level gags. It's so good. Like you can rewatch it, and you will find new things, and it's just funnier and funnier the more you pay attention. And that's great. But for this kind of movie, like, I don't think one that he tried to even take that approach, like, due to the fact that, Dean, you're saying like Disney didn't want a comedic movie, overly comedic movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because this is still a comedic movie.
Yeah, but it's
weird for Star Wars, in my opinion.
Exactly. It's more like subtle than I would like it to be. Like, when I first heard about this movie coming in, especially the way the trailers were shown, I thought this would be more comedic. I feel like they should have turned into the comedy, not slapstick, but like, very like mid-brow humor and situational humor with this, because it's fucking Han Solo. Like, the reason everybody loved Han Solo, even though you knew very little about him, is like he was this cool, fast talking dude, and like he just instilled subtle humor without even really trying in like really tense situations. And that's what this movie should have leaned into more, in my opinion, to make it more memorable and like more of an enjoyable watch.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like this movie,
I thought L3 did it good. Like, the droid, like the sentient droid that Lando has. I thought she was kind of funny sometimes, but that's like where most of the comedic humor seemed to follow. It's just mostly around her for some reason.
God damn it, dude! I cannot believe that they actually had the balls to name a droid L337. I don't know who came up with that, but that is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Dean.
I was actually kind of mad.
Dean,
I fucking loved it. It was the best thing ever. Yes.
Dean, I just learned that it was freaking leaked. I did not. I wrote it out, dude. I wrote it out in my notes, and I just didn't put that together. I
said it at the top of the show.
I wasn't paying attention, Dean.
Obviously.
Jesus Christ.
You snuck it in there. Yeah, 1337. No shit. Lead speak. Look at that.
Oh my god.
It's cute.
So bad. Actually,
it's cute.
Actually, there was one thing in this movie that pissed me off more than the Leet robot. How Han Solo became Han Solo. That shit was wildly unnecessary and just stupid.
I don't know.
No.
I mean,
I'm shutting that shit down.
I thought it was like the most minimum way, like,
God damn, where's my spray
to give
bottle?
him a name.
He didn't, dude. He's just a guy. He doesn't need an origin story for his last name.
Who?
Han Solo.
Oh yeah, that was. Yeah,
it didn't take me away.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Can you tell that John's not engaged?
No. Yeah, I was just trying to make sure you were talking about who I thought you were talking about. You are correct. I am not 100% engaged because, again, it's middle ground movie. But yeah, that whole scene, like where the dude's just like thinking, oh, he's all alone. Solo. Let's do that. That's good. That's a good one.
Yeah. It's like, come on, man. What the fuck is this? So stupid. And then like they give the Millennium Falcon an escape pod or whatever, and I'm like, come guys.
What was wrong with that?
Like, nothing. There's nothing wrong with it really, but it's just like those little details. I'm like, why did you even bother with this? Like, it's just so unnecessary.
I thought that was pretty.
It's almost.
I mean,
it almost felt like they wanted to pad out this movie, and they're like, all right, well, let's just like put a little throwaway scene where like we get kind of cute and we say why he's named Han Solo because he had no name, no family, and we'll explain why the Millennium Falcon is shaped that way because there was an escape pod there, and I'm like, guys,
I don't know. I think it's a little.
Let's back it up a bit.
I don't know. You're coming across as jaded for whatever reason. I thought it was okay. It's an origin story. It's just that's what happens in an origin story. You find cute ways to introduce known canon. I don't know. That's just what happens.
You don't have to do it that way.
Yeah,
that's just make a good story. And like if you're gonna explain why he's named Solo, then make it something better than like, All right, you have no last name. I'm just gonna take your word for that. Let's make up a name for you on the spot because that's my place. Solo. Now you're Han Solo for the rest of your life. Congratulations.
You know what I would have fucking done, like as some subtle ass humor. I mean, I understand this is in the future and shit, but like one of those Solo paper cups, he just saw that shit. Is like Han saw the paper cup where he just drank water. Solo. Like I would have done that instead of the dude been like where he's like super sad and is like, I don't have any family. I'm alone. Solo's perfect for you.
Well, we're only 2 degrees of separation from Starbucks in Game of Thrones, so why not, man?
Oh, don't bring that up.
Speaking of 2 degrees of separation, Ron Howard directs this movie. You know what other movie Ron Howard directed?
2 degrees
Willow.
of separation? No, wasn't that?
Nah, man, Willow.
God damn it.
That 2 degrees of Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis is the defining factor of the Star Wars mythos and universe.
It turns out it was never about Palpatine. It was never about the Skywalkers. It's actually about Warwick Davis.
Like straight up, I want a Warwick Davis cut of Star Wars.
Warwick Davis cut?
Like he just straight up, he's just in the fucking movie just doing random shit. And then like at one of the pivotal points of the movie, like say in episode 9, you get the Warwick Davis cut where instead of like Rey and Ben are fighting Palpatine, like Palpatine's giving his big speech about why Rey should take him down. Warwick Davis is behind him and just turns on his lightsaber and shoots right through his fucking skull. And then the movie's over and you just hear him laughing.
At the end of episode 9, where the lady asks what the surname of Rey is, she's like, Rey Davis. Cue music.
Oh my
And
God.
I find that funny because Warwick Davis is also one of the main reasons that you hate episode 6.
I mean, not
He was
me.
a little cute. No, not you, John, because he hates Ewoks.
Yeah.
I like Ewoks and episode 6. So, you know,
Ewoks suck. So does the ending of episode 6.
You know what doesn't suck? Warwick Davis.
Right,
but you know what does suck? The plot of this movie.
It doesn't suck.
It's not great, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I wouldn't
saying that it sucks might be overselling it a bit, but it's not great. Like
I thought
I'm with John, dude. Like and you to some extent. Like the middle of this movie, I was like kind of fading out. I was like looking at my phone and what's going on Twitter? Somebody's got to be yelling at somebody for some reason.
I kind of wish that they would have kept me on Corellia longer because that's the atmosphere I was craving. I want smuggy, slumlord, Corellia, back alley type of stuff, right? I want more weird ass freaking centipede aliens. Hello, what? That are vampires? Excuse me? You know, you like when he threw the rock at the window and they're getting burned up by, like, first of all, how does any light get through Corellia? That planet's a shit show. You think it's covered in smog at all times. But it was just an okay movie. I honestly thought I would like it more than I do. I thought I was going to come into the movie and end with liking it more than I did, and it ended up in an unexpected spot on my list. I thought it'd be higher. But
the hype man over here was like, that might be the movie that surprises you. Got surprised that it was actually kind of mediocre.
yeah. I mean, at least I got a
surprise, bitch. I'm underwhelming.
Small little W with it. And this one had a pseudo scroll too. It gave you about three to four sentences, not in scroll form, but they flashed a little bit of exposition for you in the beginning, just enough to get you the scene, right? To give you a little bit of backstory.
Which we didn't need for the last side story, but whatever, that's fine. Not any indication that this movie is lesser than other movies.
A lot of sabacc in this movie too. A lot of sabacc. And I thought that was kind of cool. I do own the game that was with Galaxy's Edge, which I don't like. I don't like the Corellian sabacc. I prefer the sabacc in the Knights of the Old Republic games. I actually like that format better, but it's easier to package and sell the Carillion Sabacc.
Can you actually like buy a pack of cards and play Sabacc? Like, is that a
Yeah,
real
I own
thing
it.
you can do?
Yeah, I currently have
Good.
it. Yeah.
Of course you fucking own it.
It's an
no,
okay
hold on.
game. It's an okay game. I have house rules that make it better, but
Hold on.
it's an okay
You
game.
you have a Star Wars card game and you just never mentioned this to me before now?
Because I got it. I got it
Your
last.
answer better be during the pandemic.
No, I think I got it last December,
God damn it.
maybe. I mean, I just hadn't
Is he
seen
out of
you.
the
I
will
think I
now,
told
Dean?
you.
He's out of the will.
Oh, he's been out of the will for a long ass time.
Oh yeah, this is the least shit that I could do. Please.
He's not invited anymore.
But yeah, I have it. It's an okay game. You have to have house rules to change it up. Personally, to change it up a little bit, because the way that they sell and package this version of Sabacc is bullshit. Because at the end of every round, which is really short, you roll dice, and then you have to discard your cards if dice are rolled in a particular fashion, which I think is so dumb.
Speaking of dice, they make a point of pointing out his lucky dice in this movie multiple times.
Oh yeah, they zoom in on that motherfucker every time it's touched.
And yet, he never actually uses dice in this movie.
They don't show dice at all in any of the Sabacc games, but the Sabacc they're playing has dice as an aspect of its play. Very small aspect, but it does have dice in it.
Did you write that in your notes and triple underline that shit?
I will tell you this. I like to play Sabacc with the house rule of having cards hidden up my sleeve myself, so I was happy that they showed that variant in this movie.
Stupid.
Dude, I don't know why, but like I was watching that, I was like, I don't know if I buy that Lando is just like a card shark piece of shit.
Yeah. He seems...
What do you mean?
Like Lando in episode 5, he strikes me as a kind of pragmatic dude who just kind of like he betrays them, but like he betrays them because like he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Like he's not gonna let his entire city burn to the fucking ground for Han Solo, who he kind of doesn't even like to begin with. But then he like redeems himself anyway. Like he's not a bad person is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But then like you see him in this movie and he's just like a cheating bastard who like is sitting there at the Sabacc table like bragging about how he fucked over a bunch of people out of their moon, out of their ship, out of their clothes. Like
I saw someone who was desperate. So like I saw someone who was clearly over boasting, right, and is making a legend of himself intentionally to distract his players that he's playing with. And you see this more when he wins the game. Han loses his ship, right? He thought he was going to win, and Lando is super eager to join the mission because although he doesn't say it in any point in the dialogue, it's implied that Lando is actually on tough times right now. He doesn't have a lot of money, and it's also implied when you go to his ship, it's impounded. So I just see him as a grifter type character, and usually grifters are very charismatic and they do things like that. So it made sense for me. I don't know.
I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense. Like I understand what they're going for with the character and everything, but like given that this is a character that we know, I don't know, like it just didn't strike like I never got the impression that that's who the kind of person that Lando was. I don't know.
Well, going back to reintroducing character elements that have already been either established or didn't need to be established. This one had already been established. So in episode 4, in the bar on Mos Eisley, or in the cantina on Mos Eisley, he shoots Greedo, right? Han shot first. And in this movie,
God damn it.
In this movie, they specifically point out and show, and I think it's on purpose, Han shooting first. He shoots Beckett first there towards the end of the movie. And I think that was a callback to that scene to say, hey, Han is the one that's going to shoot first from now on.
Is this going somewhere? Because that has nothing to do with what we were just talking about.
Totally
My
fine.
point is my point is that if you look at Han, who has a significantly more established character than Lando does, he ends up being relatively a good guy and kind of a softie, right? Especially around Leia. That's super jarring to see him just blast Becker like that, or Beckett like that. I feel like that's more of a hard turn to show the viewer his personality or his morals than just cheating in a card game. Even though they've scrambled in subsequent releases of Episode 4 to change that Han shooting first type of thing. But in this movie, they're like, no, Han shot first. He killed that guy.
I don't know, man. Like, I just don't. Like, you're talking about a scene that's built for the entire movie. Like, ever since he first meets Beckett, Beckett has fucked him over again and again and again and again. And they make multiple notations that Han Solo is paying attention to what Beckett says and what he does the whole time. So by the time they get to that last scene, it's not out of character for him to assess the situation, know that Beckett is probably going to shoot him, see him fucking with his gun, and then just go, no, fuck this, and shoot him down before he gets fucked over yet again. Like, to me, that was a natural and frankly kind of a good building of character over the course of the entire movie.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's unnatural. It definitely fits. He kind of, I felt like their relationship throughout it, he definitely kind of leaned on Becker a lot. He was influenced. I think
Beckett.
I think you could. Sorry, I keep saying Becker. Yeah, Beckett. I think you could make the argument that he looked up to Beckett.
Yeah.
But it's just like knowing Han as a quote unquote good guy, and they've tried to change history. He didn't shoot first. Even though he's a little bit of a rebel, he's got a bad side to him. He's still fighting for the resistance. He's still on the good guy side. They bring it up in this too. Emilia Clarke's character brings it up again. I think in the beginning, no, middle of the movie when they meet again about how he was the good guy. I don't know. It makes sense for the character, and I like seeing it actually. Like I wanted them to make Han a dirtier character in this movie. I thought he was a little too virtuous. But I could see how someone knowing Han just through the base movies and not really thinking much about it would be like, whoa, that's kind of jarring, right? That's a pretty significant chaotic neutral action for someone who's supposed to be a good guy to take.
I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like, at the beginning of the movie, Han Solo is very much like a good dude. Like, he's just trying his best to scrape by in this really shitty situation that he's in. And he, generally speaking, is doing good thing after good thing after good thing after good thing. Sometimes he does some bad things to do good, but, whatever. And then by the end, he kind of takes that turn, which totally then lines up with how he is in episode 4, 5, and 6. Like, he's mostly a gruff smuggler who's out for himself, doesn't really trust anybody. It's almost like by that point he's internalized the things that Beckett was trying to tell him the whole time. And as his relationship with Leia and Luke and 3PO and or whatever progresses, his heart starts to warm up and soften again, like he was at the beginning of this.
I mean, I thought it was the right call. I love the scene, right? And I love the little twisty turny. Oh, this is fake because Beckett told me. Oh well, guess what? Double psych. I thought that was pretty clever. I liked it the first time that I saw it. I'm like, oh, you keep me on my toes. This is nice.
Yeah, I really like that scene because it implies that, like, he told Beckett that he was going to make a fake. So, like, he expected him to betray him the entire time.
Yeah. Oh, and
which
also
was really clever.
What I love about that scene, and also the first time that you're introduced to. Hold on, Drayden. Vibroblades, baby. That was the first time in a Star Wars movie. I'm stretching here. I'm pretty sure it's the first time in a Star Wars movie you actually see vibroblades, which are what
I feel
his.
like you brought up vibroblades before.
They're definitely in Mandalorian. That's the blade he used to kill the Mudhorn.
Yeah.
Maybe they're in 7
Maybe.
or 8.
I don't remember.
But
I don't remember.
I remember watching this movie for the first time and going, "Oh shit, vibroblades, cool."
You have a real hard on for vibroblades, dude.
I just like that kind of stuff. Like I like them to reach out and bring in cool
With their
expanded
feelings.
universe kind of stuff.
I mean, yeah, it's fine. I guess.
It's just fun to look at, you know, because it could have just been a blade. It could have just been, well, first of all, why he would use blades, not have a blaster anywhere in the room is whatever. But but it's just cool that if he had to use blades, it was a vibroblade. It's just a cool thing to bring in. It's very Star Wars to have that. Oh, speaking of which, in his chambers, let's talk about that badass red Mandalorian armor.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're kidding, right?
No.
I love seeing that.
Actually, let me pull it up here really quick.
The Mandalorian armor and the traditional weapons.
If you're gonna make me actually talk about it, I guess I might as well.
Oh, it looks awesome.
It's like a 1 out of 10, dude. Like, it's
Oh,
not...
shut up! It's so cool.
It actually kind of doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. Like, it's like samurai armor.
It kind of is, yeah, right? It's built in the same way.
Not even kind of. It absolutely is. Just has a Mandalorian helmet on it.
I'm getting hardcore Ghost of Tsushima vibes here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, this is kind of whack, actually.
I think it's really, it's not like new armor. I think it's like a actual like artifact or something, right? I think it's just very old.
I guess it's gotta be like from the Mandalorian Wars or something.
Probably even before that.
Sweet old school.
I just think that it's cool. Like, once again, they didn't have to put that in there, but it was really cool that it was just in the background, and they had like the traditional Mandalorian weapons and things like that.
That's how you do like callbacks to other movies.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, look at this cool thing that I found. Throw that in the trash. Nobody cares. Look at this lightsaber that I have for no good reason at all.
I thought it was kind of unnecessary.
Like something in the background.
I thought it was weird that Darth Maul like showed off his new lightsaber, which it's a new. It looks cool, but it was like, why even light your lightsaber? And
for a second, I thought you were going to say it was kind of unnecessary that they showed Darth Maul, and I was about to be over the moon.
You ain't getting that out of me.
A split second, I was like, oh, shit.
Nope.
No, I totally agree with you. Like, the lightsaber thing, I was like, why the fuck did he light up the lightsaber?
That was 100% fan service. That's all that was. That was just
like,
that was just
what the fuck?
That was just for people to go, ooh, Darth Maul! Oh my god, a saber! Like, remember this, guys? Right?
Just that hardcore flex on on the Mother of Dragons for no fucking reason.
Yeah, and we're working very closely together. And then to come back to Dathomir, which, by the way, if you play Fallen Order, you'll spend a lot of time in Dathomir around a lot of Zabroks as well, and you learn a lot about their culture. Which will really, I think, influence your opinion about Darth Maul as a character. So just go ahead and check it out.
I don't have a problem with Darth Maul. He's just stupid as a character in Episode 1 specifically. I don't have a problem with Darth Maul at all. Well, I kind of have a problem with the fact that he's still alive, because that doesn't make any fucking sense. Especially when your explanation for that is that he was so angry that he willed himself to stay alive to get revenge.
I mean,
which is, first of all, I will say that's the most metal thing I've ever heard.
Yes, it's not too far fetched, dude. Willpower makes you do make some crazy things like possible.
Like that, but then he comes back as this like half mechanical spider, and I'm like, what the fuck, you guys? You know what? It doesn't even matter. what does matter is that Darth Maul in this movie doesn't look or sound anything like Darth Maul from Episode 1.
Yeah, and that's the worst
Is
part.
it the same guy?
I don't know, actually.
I'm
I do agree.
Pretty sure it's not.
I do agree he did sound and look different. And if that was an artifact of him aging, then so be it. Because up until that point, oh man, how long?
Maybe?
It had been like close to 20 years, maybe, or like 15 to 20 years since Episode 1. So he would have definitely aged. But I don't know if
Let's
it's the same
find out.
actor. Wasn't the actor in the original just like the stunt guy that was going to do the stunts for it? And they gave him like one line. I remember us talking about that.
So Episode 1 takes place in 32 BBY. Solo takes place 11 to 14 years before A New Hope. That's not super helpful, though. Can we be a little bit more specific?
Well, 11 to 14 BBY. And then from, I think New Hope is 19 after, like, BBY. I forgot what it's called after that, but.
Takes place. Okay, no, of course. New Hope is 0 BBY,
Zero.
obviously.
Okay,
so
yes,
it's
0.
like 30. So it's like, yeah, you were right. About like 20 some odd years after he's quote unquote died.
I think they made him look like he aged appropriately and went through some struggles, of course. Getting chopped in half isn't something that you usually just bounce back from, unless you're really angry. I
know if it's a different guy, you know?
I'm not seeing anything right now that's saying it's a different person.
Because, like, if it's the same guy, that's weird, because he, like, looks way different.
Jesus.
I mean, it might be that guy just, like, aged really poorly, I guess, but...
Ray Park?
Oh, actually... Like, when I was watching the movie, he looked really different, but actually, when I'm looking at a still shot of him, he actually looks pretty dead on, so maybe it is just the same guy.
It was just a hologram, made him look weird.
Let's see. Darth Maul Wikipedia, portrayed by Ray Park.
Did he voice him too in Clone? Wow, he did. He's literally...
Yeah, that's the guy who played Han Solo in the first one. I remember...
Oh, he's voiced by somebody... Wait. He's voiced by somebody different than who plays him in both Episode 1 and in Solo? And he's... That's weird. So according to his Wikipedia page, the actor is the same, but he's voiced by somebody other than the actor in Episode 1 and a different guy than that in Solo.
Yeah, so I can answer this one. Ray Park is someone who I love because he was Toad in X-Men, and he's really good at stunts. That's why he is the physical portion of Darth Maul for doing the lightsaber duel stunts, where he does the butterfly kicks and all that shit. And then the other guy is just the voice, because I guess they didn't like Ray Park's voice for Darth Maul. It wasn't menacing enough. So, yeah.
Well, now that I know that's Toad, I can agree with that. Like, if that was the voice of Darth Maul, nobody would give a shit about this guy. Like,
but yeah,
up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I like.
But yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure why they couldn't just pay the original guy to come back and do it again, but he sounds way different. I probably would never even have known had we not watched Episode 1 so recently.
Yeah.
But because I do have that context, like I was immediately thrown off by that.
Oh, the original guy that voiced him is actually pretty famous. I've seen him in a number of things.
Peter Serafinowicz. For a second, I was going to be like, oh, well, that would explain.
No, he's been in a lot of things. What do I really know him from?
Why did they replace him? That's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, that sucks.
Also, did you guys catch the Back to the Future reference in this movie?
No, I did not.
Well,
I didn't catch it on this watch, but I remember going back after I first watched it after someone told me about it.
Yeah, like I didn't catch it the first time that I watched it, but this time I was like, wait, is that a Back to the Future reference? Like it totally is, dude. It's pretty cool.
Needles.
For context, like at one point Han Solo is talking about this guy Needles that he used to know who was a racer and crashed, which is a reference to Back to the Future 2, where Marty McFly is racing a guy named Needles and they crash.
Yep, it's falling off. Yeah,
And-
you felt it. You felt it as you were saying it.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Well, that's pretty nifty.
It was cool for me. Like, as a big Back to the Future fan, I was watching it like, ooh, there's something good in this movie.
Jesus.
Speaking of something good in this movie, did you guys notice that, like, when he's on Corellia and they're like flashing Imperial propaganda in the queue when he's trying to like leave the planet or whatever, and they're playing like the Imperial March in the background of this propaganda?
They are?
No,
No, I didn't. No, yeah, I didn't catch that at all.
Am I the only one who watched this movie?
Basically.
Yeah, we watched this week. We watched. We watched Leprechaun in the
Air Bud,
Hood, right?
Yeah.
Shit,
Leprechaun in the
Air Bud.
Hood. I'm actually super excited for that recording of that podcast. Like, I'm going to drink so heavily for that
Maybe,
podcast.
Spoilers.
Maybe it's. Well, we haven't decided yet. We don't know what's going on yet.
That's on the list, and if it's not, I'm not doing any of them.
I think. Ouch. All right. Well, we're getting strong armed here.
Oh, shit.
We have 3 people, so we could
So
could
it's
do a vote.
blackmail, huh? Lieutenant, come over here.
Exactly. Yes.
It's treason then.
I like how like Han like
So it's treason then.
I like how Han, when he first meets Beckett, he tries to blackmail him, and Beckett's like, I'm a captain. This guy sees me as a captain. Lieutenant, over here. This
Yeah.
guy's a deserter.
And don't listen to any of his lies.
Yeah.
It's like, and the lieutenant's like, oh yeah, the troublemaker. Like, he doesn't even need any more of a reason. It's like, yeah, we're fucking this guy over.
I just wanted
I
a
knew
reason
it.
to fuck this guy up.
It's like,
Oh
I
my
knew it.
god, dude.
Oh, speaking of that scene, I loved how the Imperial Army looks. I just thought they all look really cool with their Spaceballs helmets, but they look really cool.
I never even considered that there was like this Imperial army, though.
Yeah, that's like, well, Matt always corrects me about this, but the Stormtroopers are the elite of the Empire. The Imperial Army are like the general foot soldiers. So
Grunts.
swallow that.
Have we ever seen the Imperial army in like the movies before? Like, I don't remember.
I think this is the first time we see them in an actual movie, unless they've been thrown in like a background or something somewhere.
Yeah. Because I can't.
Help
Like,
me.
this is all news to me, right?
Wikipedia. Let's see. It's Wikipedia.
They're gonna be like in every Star Wars movie
Yeah.
ever made.
Appearances. They were in Revenge of the Sith. They were in episode 3. Where
news.
the hell were they in episode 3? I don't remember that at all.
You are fake news.
Stupid.
What else were they in? Oh, they were in Jedi Fallen Order, actually. That's a nice little...
God damn it. Of course they
something
were.
Else, something else
What
you can
isn't
enjoy.
in Fallen Order?
Why wouldn't they be in Fallen
A
Order?
bad story.
Oh,
You won't find
Wow.
that there.
Oh my
Psych.
god. You know what? I have to give kudos to Jordan on that one. I appreciate how that was used. Good job, my friend. Good job.
Thank you.
Oh, speaking of bad storytelling, was anybody else thrown off by the fact that like he was able to call over that lieutenant and do that shit as the captain? Like, nobody here fucking realizes that this is not the same guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
did his entire platoon and everybody that he reports to, they just all dead? Like, nobody knows who this guy was supposed to look like?
I don't know. It was like a specific cap. I think it was just because he had a captain's uniform on. Like the Imperial Army might be so big. It's
Yeah,
like he's
but that belongs to somebody.
I understand, but like it might not be a specific captain. There's multiple captains, so it might have been just a different captain. Just like I've never seen you before.
Yeah, but
actually, now that I'm talking about it, if there's not a lot of captains, or depending on how many captains, the rank matters. So he should know all captains. You're correct. Fuck that. That was a horrible thing that was done and a huge oversight. You are correct.
Not to mention that Han Solo in 2 seconds looks at him and is like, you have blaster scars where the guy who you stole that from died. Nobody else can put that together. Like, come on. Nobody knows who this guy is. Nobody can put together that he's got like bolt blasts right through his heart. Doesn't make any sense, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It makes zero sense at all. Like,
okay.
It's like me wearing like a bloody...
Of course you were okay with it. God damn it, George.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I mean, it's whatever.
You know what I was okay with, though? The way that Rio pronounces Wookiee.
What?
You didn't notice that? Like,
I guess I just glossed over it. Was it something
like? I mean, like everybody's just says Wookiee, right? But he's like, we could really use a Wookiee. Those Wookiees are pretty good muscle.
I thought he was a fun character.
Wookiee. Yeah, he was really fun until he got lit up like a fucking Christmas tree, and it's like, no, it's good, man. I'm just gonna.
I also love how
forever
for an origin story. See, this is one of the many problems that I have with the movie, but they just didn't pick the right points to focus on. So Han is known as a good pilot or a great pilot, right? Their explanation for him being a great pilot is, he went to the academy for 3 years and then dropped out because he's a bad boy. Like that's like he grew his skill off camera and then here he is. We're gonna land him in front of you. He's an established pilot and he's really, really good apparently. I would like to see.
He could just be a naturally gifted pilot. Though.
I know, but I would still like. I would like to see, because in no other movie have we seen Imperial academies. I would like to see some time with him in there, learning how to fly, being better than his peers. Give me a, maybe I watch too much shonen anime, but like give me a little arc of his growth.
You know where you can see a lot of the Imperial Academy? Jedi Fallen Order.
Stupid. Go back in your hole.
Jeez. Put that shit away and play the game.
No, for real though, like they actually show a lot of it in Star Wars Rebels, I think it is. Because one of the characters is actually a dropout from the Imperial Academy. So like they show a bunch of it at the beginning.
I would have liked to see some more of that personally, but we got a heist scene that personally lasted a little bit longer than it needed to. And
bro, that coaxium explosion was fucking rad.
Yeah,
though.
Oh my god, you're totally right. That was super cool.
Boom.
That was pretty rad. I like that a lot.
It was like the detonators that oh fuck, why can't I remember?
Boba Fett?
Jango Fett used in the prequels. Yeah, it was just like that, but like on the surface of the planet. It was fucking rad, dude.
Definitely loved that. Not related to that at all, but once again, Steve Blum voiced a number of the stormtroopers in this.
Can't help yourself, can you?
No, but it's funny because when the stormtroopers were over the cage, just one line, just like "kill him slower," like when they were talking and like jeering at him, trying to fight Chewie and stay alive. I don't know. I just had a little chuckle. Oh, and also, Rey is Beckett's girlfriend or whatever, like his cohort that died during the mission. Was it Rey or
Val?
Val, sorry, Rey. She actually she mentions
wait, Rey was in this movie.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't watching it.
Right.
She was complaining about Han and Chewie being on their team, and then she actually mentions we could have gotten other people, and she lists out like 2 or 3 names. One of them was Bossk.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I thought that was kind of a fun little throwaway line. I was like, ooh, I know that name.
You know what was apparently a fun little throwaway line? When they were talking about how they don't want to make it seem like they're associated with Dryden at all, and then like Khaleesi just goes right out there when they're on the planet and starts talking to them directly about how she's associated with Dryden, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I was like, guys, we fucking lost the plot here.
No. That's not who they were worried about knowing. They didn't want the actual miners or the slavers on Kessel knowing. I think that was it.
That's who they were talking to.
No, they were talking to. Wait, you're talking about when they dropped off the unstable coaxium on the desert planet on Savine?
No.
Savarine?
When they land on Kessel, which I didn't know Kessel was a planet until this movie. Just putting that out there. But when they land on Kessel, the first thing that they do is she walks down the ramp and starts negotiating with them. What the fuck are you doing?
Well, I don't remember everything she said, but I think she was just throwing out like Imperial jargon. I don't think she actually mentioned Crimson Dawn.
No, but she doesn't have to, because everybody in this fucking movie knows who she is.
Yeah,
because
I guess
they have an explicit conversation before that about how they know who she is and who Dryden is, and they have this like weak relationship with each other that they don't want to fuck up, and so they're gonna send Beckett and Han because they don't know who the fuck Beckett and Han is, and that they're working for him. And then she just walks down there with them in shackles and starts bartering them as slaves.
You know why that doesn't actually matter in the long run? Because everyone there dies anyway.
But that wasn't the plan. The elite robot just went fucking rogue.
It was the plan. No, that was the plan, because she took out the slaver in the room, right? Like that was the first thing.
But yes, that's true, but this wasn't the plan. Like the plan wasn't to immediately expose themselves and then murder everybody. That was not the plan.
I personally didn't like that. Like I thought the atmosphere of the whole scene was cool. I didn't like the execution of all of it. I thought it would have been cooler to see a different side of Kessel, or like not them trying to negotiate something. Like they sneak in and they try and steal it away. I thought that would have been a little more appropriate. So yeah, I completely agree with you. It's definitely weird and not necessarily consistent.
You know what was fucking rad though? That scene where they're like trying to escape the maw, and that fucking giant creature is trying to suck them in and shit. That big space squid.
And it's trying to eat them, but then it gets trapped in this black hole, and it's getting like torn apart. Oh, that was a really cool scene. Star Wars does this, and it's just something you have to accept. I don't love the concept of giant space creatures like that, like giant space squids. I don't love them, but the scene was cool.
Let me see if I can convince you otherwise. The Summa Verminoth were gargantuan spacefaring beasts.
It's your fault, George.
With tentacles and multiple eyes. They dwelled
How many eyes,
in the
Dean?
Akadesi Maelstrom and were embedded in legends of what travelers may
I feel
encounter.
like he practices this shit in the mirror. I swear to God.
He had this queued
In
up for
10
hours.
BBY, Han Solo and the rest of Beckett's gang unintentionally awoke a Summa Verminoth near the Maw cluster. The massive beast began pursuing Solo, who flew the Millennium Falcon near a gravity well.
He's been
Solo then ejected the Falcon's escape pod, which is fucking stupid, which the Summa Verminoth chased instead right into the gravity well. The Summa Verminoth was caught by the gravity well, its skin being torn from its skeleton before being pulled in. How do you feel now?
I hate you so much.
Not you!
I feel like I want to know more.
Oh,
How does
the
it?
Sum of Verminoth first appeared in the 2018 Star Wars anthology film Solo, A Star Wars Story. Nicknamed Space Opus by the film's crew, the Sum of Verminoth was not originally in the script.
Spaceopus?
You know, a cast member updated that Wikipedia entry with like, "Oh, we called it the Space Opus."
I mean, why wouldn't
Oh.
you?
The Sum of Verminoth was not originally in the script, but was a late addition approved by director Ron Howard.
Of course it
The
was.
creature's death scene, in which its skin is ripped from its skull, was conceived by design supervisor James Klein as a partial nod to the Indiana Jones franchise.
What? And what? In what Indiana Jones movie are they trapped in a gravity well? Are they saying like the
no.
face melting scene?
Yes.
Okay, sure, and okay, and yeah, and the speeder. Little known fact: the speeder chase scene theme is actually a
Mhm.
nod to the Blues Brothers chase scene between the Blues
Mm.
Brothers and the cops. Actually, because they're two vehicles chasing each other.
According to James Klein, the jellyfish in the Kessel Run, again, came from throwing dumb
It's a
ideas out
jellyfish?
in a meeting. I literally opened my sketchbook and pitched, what if the Falcon had to fly through a jellyfish?
I wish I was there.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
I wish I
But
was.
we come back and there's a jellyfish in the presentation.
I wish I was there at that meeting. What if they had you escape a space jellyfish? Like, you're fired.
Genius!
No, I would not let that happen.
I don't know. I thought it was kind of neat, though.
Yeah, it's neat, of course. It's cool, it's fun. I thought the escape pod
course.
was neat.
No. 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 No, no. No.
No?
Oh, and
Also,
when
no.
when it lost its antenna, in one of the last scenes before it was almost sucked into the maw itself, I think it losing its dish is a call to something that was said in episode 4, or there's some movie somewhere where they comment on the ship not having a satellite dish or some kind of like communications array.
I vaguely remember that, yeah.
I think that's also a call to that. How'd you feel, both of you, about L3's death and then them uploading L3 into the into the Falcon like freaking Al? Was that just kind of a meh decision or whatever? Or?
That was a... Hold on. Really fucking stupid idea.
Had to look that up.
Yeah, I had to really find the words I was looking for, It's...
You were just on a thesaurus and you were trying to find the right words to use.
'Cause here's the problem. So now we have this this droid who's just been uploaded into the Millennium Falcon. Are we supposed to understand that the reason that Han Solo can do this crazy navigational shit is because he has a droid helping him?
That's definitely what's assumed, or what's implied.
Sounds like Han shot first all over again, man.
God damn it. Going down that road. Yep.
Isn't it though? Before this movie, Han Solo was just an incredible pilot who was able to do all this crazy shit. But now he's got a droid that's been helping him the whole time.
I mean, they already kind of personify the ship. Like, the ship has its own mythos around it, right? It's a legendary ship. So,
It's only
although
a
it
legendary
didn't,
ship because it's flown by Han Solo. It wasn't a legendary ship when he got it from Lando. And actually, you know what's weird about that? He goes through this whole rigmarole of winning the ship from Lando, but the Millennium Falcon is supposed to be just a regular old freighter ship.
yeah, I don't know how
why would
you
anybody
soup up.
prize that at all?
Well, I also I don't know how the hell you soup up a freighter to be faster than your sports ships. That's like getting a U-Haul and racing a Ferrari or something,
Yeah.
right? Like, dude, check it. You're not gonna believe this.
And
U-Haul.
winning.
And winning, yeah, and winning. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I guess they have to explain it and whatever. I wonder who had the idea to make it. Like, I wonder if it was George Lucas who was like, you know what, this is going to be a freighter ship.
It probably was. That's some stupid shit he would come up with.
Just a fast freighter.
Like, nobody's like, George, that doesn't even make fucking sense, man. What?
Oh, and also,
but space.
Little known fact,
Space.
if you inject Kool-Aid
Space.
into your gas tank while you drive, you get a speed boost.
Well, I mean, it completely crashes your ship for a second and almost sucks you into a black hole. But then you get an incredible boost.
Yeah, that doesn't tear apart the passengers inside. But,
no, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, cool. We're on the same page.
Yeah. No,
I thought the droid thing was fine. I'm not really offended by it because the ship is already personified so much and is revered so much that they wanted to give it an actual personality, or they wanted to give it some kind of persona. So why not be a rebellious and insane droid that interfaced with it? Sure, I thought it was okay. I think they really just did it because it had navigational data. It could have been, an R2 unit or something that just was hanging around Han the whole time.
It's just kind of dumb, no matter how you slice it.
I'm neutral about it. I mean, I'm neutral about it. Oh, I thought the robot death match was awesome. Freaking battle bots, dude! That was tight as hell. That's kind of shit I want to see.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Anything that you want to see from Star Wars at this point, I'm probably against.
Okay. That's not true.
Okay. That was kind of a low blow, but all right, man.
Yeah, that's not true. I loved seeing Chewie learn how to play, and I always forget the name of the game, on the ship.
Oh, shit, I can't remember.
Yeah, I always look it up, and I'm like, oh, that's the name of it, and I immediately forget it when I navigate away from Google. But I like that. I like that scene. I thought that was kind of cute, teaching Chewie how to play.
Dejarik,
which you can buy that too at Galaxy's Edge. You can actually buy the board and the figurines and everything. I have no idea how to play it.
I want figurines. I want holograms. No holograms, no sale.
No sale. He tries to wipe them off.
How much do you think that would cost?
It depends on the quality of the holograms, I guess.
Jesus Christ. How do you spell it?
Dejarik.
I was one letter off.
Yeah. To have it use holograms now, like thousands of dollars. In a few hundred years from now, hopefully, if we're not all dead, $20.
Well, like I said, it depends on the quality of the holograms, because like you could put 4 pieces of glass up to your phone and make a hologram per se. But if we're talking like holograms like they have, that's gonna cost you a fucking mint.
I mean, like you can do like a cheap version where you do like altered reality through like glasses, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And like all
you Google Glass going on and shit.
Yeah, and you use just stand-in pieces to where the program recognizes certain pieces as like certain holograms, and then just through the alter reality just changes them. So like you can technically have it right there.
That's a really good idea.
Dude, I need Seto Kaiba to be born into this world.
Oh my god!
Fuck, you know what? We need to just scrap Star Wars, rewatch Yu-Gi-Oh, and just talk about it season to season.
But we only have one movie left.
No, we're done. Done with Star Wars.
We haven't finished.
You know you want to finish at this movie too, so I don't even know why
I
you're
wanted
trying
to finish at the
this.
last one.
We're in the home stretch,
last one
guys.
almost broke me.
Just in the fetal position in the corner, just.
Oh, to bring up something with like for Chewie. So on Kessel, Chewie rips that fucking dude's arms off, and you're telling me that he's not going to eat that damn porg in Episode 8? You're full of shit. Chewie's eating people, ripping arms off here, and in episode 8, he softened up so much that he won't even take a bite in that delicious-looking pheasant.
That he already murdered and
Yeah,
cooked.
he already killed and cooked. He's going to deprive himself.
Well, gentlemen, I think it's that time. Where does Solo rank in your listing of the Star Wars movies?
Wow, that high, really? Okay.
Scoobity.
It's impressive. I didn't expect it to be first on your list.
Yeah, over episode 1.
Oh, fucking shit. Oh my god.
What do you think, John?
For me, like I had to write my list down. Just gonna put Solo right. Yep, that's the perfect place, right there. So it goes 1-5 Rogue One, 4-3 then Solo, 6-2-7-8.
Interesting.
Definitely higher than I thought.
That's super interesting. You know why I think that's so interesting? This is my list. 4-5-1, Rogue One, 3, Solo, 6-2-7-8.
Oh snap, son!
Oh my god! I can't believe
What?
I'm about to do this.
Do it.
My list: 5, Rogue One, 4, 3, 1, 6, 7, 2, Solo, 8.
You garbage
Holy
human
shit.
being.
I actually enjoy 7 and 2 and 6 more than I enjoy Solo.
Oh my god, really?
This is why I said anything that you want out of Star Wars, I probably hate. I cannot even
I thought you
begin
guys
to fathom how you did that. This
I-
movie is unequivocally better than 6. Well, maybe not 6 is debatable, but definitely better than 2, 7, and 8. Definitely.
I don't think 6 is debatable. I think it's definitely worse than 6. I think that. So
Well,
this
given
is
that I ranked it higher than 6, I would say that it's clearly debatable. Obviously and demonstrably.
I definitely wouldn't agree with that. 6 is such a better scope, better character.
What are you talking about,
no
dude?
way.
You said
There's
it's
no
worse.
way.
I said it's better. Like, it's by definition right now, it is debatable.
This list is not what I think is generally, but it's just like what I prefer more, right? So I just had fun.
Yeah, of course.
I had a better time watching 6, 7, and 2 than I did Solo. I don't know. I thought Solo had some really great moments. It brought in some awesome legacy stuff and some like nods to other lore that I love. I always love that kind of stuff, but I just thought surprised. I thought it would be above 2 for me, but when I was making this list, I think I still enjoyed 2 over Solo.
I mean, I understand why you could enjoy 2 a little bit, but that love story in the middle of 2, that was just ham-fisted down your throat. Like, you had is like, this is exactly why he did what he did. This is his motivation. Like, they made that the main point of 2 to where I was like, this is so forced and cringeworthy. I can't really enjoy the cool aspects of the movie because they're just pasting it over everything that's good about this movie.
Dude, I would almost go so far as to say that Solo is objectively better than 2.
I mean, I couldn't necessarily argue that. I could, but I won't. It's a fool's errand.
It is,
because I do.
Right, it is.
I do think that. I do think that the romantic elements of 2 ruin the movie, but the rest of it is. It's got a lot of bangers. It's got a lot of great awesome shit in 2.
The best parts of 2 are better than Solo, but the worst parts of 2 are worse than Solo.
Definitely.
So like Solo is just kind of a mediocre experience the entire way through. You don't really have anything overwhelmingly positive or negative to say about it. It just kind of exists.
I just feel like I could put Solo above 2 and I probably would be able to sleep at night no problem. But I just right now, my heart of hearts,
Pull the heart of the cards, Jordan. Tell us what you
I'm
really
getting that
feel.
Exodia left leg, and I think
shit.
I think it's below 2 right now for me.
Yeah.
And which is lower than I thought it would end up, to be honest. I thought
I'm gonna play my card destruction and make you discard your entire hand.
Trap hole. No. I think that like I thought it was going to be higher.
Exodia deck pieces in his freaking. I
You're
remember
going
that
to the shadow realm.
I remember that episode where oh boy like basically had like 7 full Exodia sets in his deck.
Yeah.
And he just like straight up just undestroyed the left like it was like the right leg or left leg of Exodia, and like your deck is basically worthless now.
Yeah.
I love how Yugi was so devastated when fucking Weevil threw his cards into the ocean. He dived in after them to get it, and then this guy's got like
Joey did.
Joey did, thank you. And then this guy's
got
like
been dope
every
as fuck,
freaking
though?
one of them.
You know what would have been fucking dope is if he goes into that battle and Arcana pulls out these like fucking super wet and distorted copies of Exodia.
Oh my god. That would have been incredible.
That would have been great.
Gentlemen, do you have any final thoughts on Solo before we wrap up this week?
Extremely mediocre.
And middle of the road. I did like the nod to the Jabba the Hutt job that he was going after towards the end. I thought that was kind of nice. Yeah. He didn't mention Jabba, but he's mentioned, there's a big job on Tatooine. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Where he becomes
my problem with that though is that
Spice Runner.
That kind of implies that this movie takes place like just before Episode 4. But if that's the case, why does Han look so fucking different?
Well, that wasn't like Han didn't just do one job for Jabba. He was working with him. He did multiples.
He became Jabba's like favorite runner. Like he said that outright in Episode 4 when he was walking next to him, and he looked super super fucking small. But
and he stepped on his tail.
Yeah. Anyways.
10 years he goes from not even knowing who Jabba is to just walking all over him, literally.
Yeah. That's a very Han Solo thing. Hey, buddy, old pal.
My major qualms with the movie is, I don't know. It seems like after a certain point with Star Wars, it seems like they're just wasting a lot of the potential with the stories that they're given. Like, I was excited when I heard that they were making a Solo like prequel movie, and like you think the movie would just be chock full of charisma and just like nonchalant greatness, and it just wasn't. Like
it was a Disney Star Wars movie, all right.
Yeah, it just I will say Donald Glover did Lando Calrissian justice. Like, shout out to Big Willie D. But like that was like the only thing I think they nailed in this movie. And Han Solo should have had some of that charisma, like not as oozing charisma as Lando did in the movie, but like more like aloof charisma, you know, like this guy doesn't really care about anything really. Like he's just doing what he does to make his life, you know, fun and like not have a hard time. And I think they missed that with Han in this movie. I think that was the major qualm I had with it. Like the actor was good. It's just the path that he had to take due to the script and the direction of the movie wasn't what I envisioned. And like, I might be wrong in that feeling, but that's just how I felt when I watched it.
Do you think it warrants a sequel?
Hell no.
Maybe
depends on what you mean by warrants.
Like,
okay, would it benefit? Would the Star Wars movie library benefit from a sequel being maybe more of that? Now you're seeing a Han Solo who is possibly meeting Jabba the Hutt for the first time on Tatooine. You see how he does his jobs or whatever like that, right? Like he's more smuggling stuff as he's already established, and he is more aloof. He's more confident because he's not building character anymore. He's already established. So you get more of that. And Of course, more throw-ins to the main storyline will be probably everywhere in the movie itself, but it's just like a true smugglers movie.
Nah, fuck that. If they're gonna make a sequel to this, like it's gonna be Han is in a prison for 90% of the movie, and Chewie has to get Lando Calrissian to bail him out. That's the only reason I would accept a sequel. Like Donald Glover
So a
will play
Lando
Lando.
movie.
Yeah,
A Lando and Chewie movie.
basically, yeah, that would be
Okay.
perfect.
How about a Chewie and Chewie movie?
Chewie and Chewie movie, extra
Here's
Chewie.
Here's what I would say.
Extra Chewie.
They need to leave Han Solo alone.
Leave him alone.
Let the sweet prince lay down and it's over.
Harrison Ford wanted him to die in the second movie.
He
Y'all
did,
just
yeah.
couldn't let it happen.
But I think that some kind of a payoff with the Darth Maul tease and what's going on between Darth Maul and Kira, who by the way, we like barely talked about Kira
Because it
'Cause
wasn't
she's
that
meh,
good of a performance.
Just, whatever.
That's just the pure and simple of it. Like, and it makes me feel bad.
No regrets.
Yeah, she like she reached fame from Game of Thrones because she was a strong, formidable female protagonist.
She was great in Game of Thrones. I got
She
nothing
was
bad to say
great,
about her in Game of Thrones.
but like
Until it had to end.
Jesus
Well, that wasn't
Christ,
her fault.
I didn't want to mention it. Stop. It's bad memories. But most of her performances that I've noticed in like other movies, they've been lacking. And I don't know if that's her as an actress or just the movies that she's in. Because one of them was this one was Solo, and the other one was Terminator Genesis.
Salvation.
Oh God, was she in
Was it Genesis?
She
I
was
think
in
it was
Genesis. It was definitely it was the
Yeah.
movie before they did the total like reboot where they didn't care about time travel anymore.
I didn't watch the
Wait,
reboot, but I heard it was
what?
okay.
You
Yeah,
didn't.
they just nixed all the movies that happened after 2, and they're like, no, this is actually what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's Terminator Genesis. So like Terminator Genesis is the one that she was in, and then after that one it was Terminator Dark Fate, which I heard was a good movie, but it just didn't stick the landing, so nobody really saw it. So it was a good rated movie and reviewed movie, but it was a box office failure. So
I'm looking at her filmography. I don't know that I've seen any of her other movies.
yeah.
No, I have not.
Yeah, it was just
Not
that's
a
kind of
single
meh.
one of these.
I don't really have anything else to say, but the fact that it was just middling, it was good. It was
Agreed.
fun, that's whatever.
No, I wouldn't give it fun.
I thought it was fun.
It's like fun is a stretch, sir.
That was fun.
Fun is an awfully strong word for this movie.
If you're looking for fun, we got it coming around the corner, guys. Let's look forward to next week. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. We're going for a romp.
Legit,
next week is going to be the worst week of my whole life.
So this is what's going to happen for next week in this movie. I am going to have so many vodka cocktails, and I'm actually going to write notes for when I watch it. This one, I'm actually going to write notes. Like,
get him.
It's fuck.
He's like, I'm coming with receipts.
Shit. Like if we're gonna end this motherfucker, we're gonna end fucking strong. Like no matter how bad this movie turns out to be or good, you never know. You already fucking shit.
Yeah, I can't imagine that we're gonna come to the table next week and be like, you know what?
Better than I thought it was
actually
pretty
surprisingly classy.
That's some shit that I would do,
with
but I promise I'm not going to
everything.
do it.
Dude.
I promise I'm not going to do it.
You can't
There's no way.
help yourself.
Like a 7, 8 out of 10, guys. Like
I don't know, guys. Let's pump it up a little bit.
Can we just appreciate what J.J. Abrams accomplished? Get the fuck out of here! Like no.
That was really daring. That Chewie scene was. They took a risk there, guys. Can we acknowledge that risk they took?
Oh, well, Jesus Christ.
Until next week when we have that conversation. If you enjoyed this and you're on YouTube, be sure to drop us a like and subscribe as we drop a new episode every Thursday morning. If you're enjoying us on your favorite podcast service, drop us a review. It really helps us out. And don't forget to come and chat with us in the Discord. And as always, have fun out there, guys.